Mikey and Rinne stay in. Oh yeah. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Mikey and Rinne stay in. I'll be your host, Mikey.
I'll be your other host, Rinne Dog.
Yeah, there's no co-hosting situation in this situation. We're both hosts.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Up
Equal
top.
playing field.
Equal opportunity.
That's right.
This is Mikey and Rinne, episode 26.
Big upstairs.
Bag of dicks.
Even better.
Take two, actually. We started an earlier one, and one of our microphones, Mikey's, was not fucking plugged in. And so...
You need that.
Yeah.
Turns out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need that.
How you doing?
I'm great. You want to just revisit the things we talked about before?
Sure.
Well, I'm great.
Replay.
I just came from a day-long event where I was with some fun, fancy friends, creative women, all that have their own companies and are like kind of selling cool things around the area. And I loved it. I love being inspired creatively, especially by women. I think it's just, it's my place.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
feminine energy is a nice one.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know, I've just been, what I was talking about before was, I've just been feeling like happy. Just
Yeah.
like,
And I pointed out that you have had a little pep in your step these past few days, and it's been really nice to see.
I know.
Because I feel like you've been under a little bit of a cloud.
I have been under a little bit of a cloud for sure. I've been pretty, I don't know what the word is. I don't know if it's depressed. I think there's part of it that is that, but I think it's anxious.
Yeah.
I've just been kind of like feeling like life has been lifing me.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Thank you, Liz.
Thanks, Liz Birch. But yeah, just been feeling like, I don't know, behind the eight ball or like not in control of a lot of things. And I don't know, it's been beautiful here, which the sun definitely charges me. But it's also, I don't know, when I have time to kind of like feel like I'm in my own, like I'm controlling my destiny a little bit. I'm kind of in control of like the things that I'm working on or the thoughts that I'm having, then I feel really great, you know.
Yeah.
And it hasn't always felt like that lately.
Yeah.
I'm feeling kind of a little bit like out of my own control. So yeah, I'm feeling great.
Good.
Yeah.
Great.
And how are you doing?
I am doing well.
Yeah.
I had a full day of work today. I want to share with you guys something that a little said to me today. A 7-year-old that I'm working with, who really, really likes video games. And Dad was enticing her to get off of the massage table that I have, which is super warm, by saying that they were going to go home and play video games. And she said, I'd rather stay here all day than play video games.
Wow.
I was like,
Big statement.
can you say that again?
God, I love it's like a little gamer that's just like, well, you know, I could
It
be
feels
gaming.
good here. Yeah.
Or I could be getting healed.
I know, it was really special.
Yeah,
and
that's
super
wonderful.
Sweet. So this is why I do my job.
Yeah,
'Cause
totally.
There's nuggets like that every time I'm at work.
Yeah.
And little people
I mean, you've
are
got a lot of-
just magical.
Yeah, and you've got a lot of good like quotables from your
Oh
kids
God,
too.
yeah. So good. So good. Yeah, and then I'm headed to dinner with a really yummy friend who is in town from Eugene.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, going to our friend Garrett Benedict's place.
Yes.
G-Love.
G-Love. Check it out if you're in Portland.
Yeah, really fun spot.
Speaking of eating,
Speaking of eating, I am.
you're eating something over there. What
I
are
am
you
eating.
snacking on? Eat
So
your
I'm-
feeling snack
Eat your
time.
feeling snack. Let's go to a segment. So I'm having some delicious Simple Mills. Is that the name of the company?
Yeah, yeah.
Simple Mills gluten-free crackers, which are super yummy. Those are kind of like a wheat thin sort of experience. But I'm eating some aged Gouda.
Wow, you're going to go ahead and pronounce it like that.
Gouda.
right?
Yeah, this is Gouda, which has calcium lactate in it. So the little crystals in a lot of cheese, when it's aged, it'll bloom these little crystals in it. And I like to think that calcium lactate is really good for me.
Sure.
It
go
does.
ahead.
It has health benefits, especially if you take it on its own. But I like to think that you can take it in cheese and still get the benefits.
Well, oftentimes our food is it's the best source for vitamins, minerals, any kind of.
Well, they say like a lot of the supplements that people take, I mean vitamin C especially, like you basically aren't getting it.
That's
like,
right.
If you're eating it in oranges and things, you're great.
Or if you're eating it in radishes.
Oops. That's, she's teasing it. There's radishes in front of her. Spoiler alert. Okay, my calcium lactate that's in my motherfucking cheese, and there's going to be, I hope a food scientist or a doctor calls me up and says, bullshit, you're like, the cheese is just killing you and constricting your balls, whatever. So my calcium lactate supports muscle contraction, blood coagulation, male fertility, proper functioning of enzyme systems. There you
go.
Yep. So I'm eating my aged Gouda by the pound. And
because the more calcium lactate, the better.
Amen. Right? And I love these crackers so much; they're delicious. And that's how I'm supporting myself right now.
Nice. Yeah, we decided to do a little last minute eat your feeling snack. Like look in the fridge and excuse me. Wow. For those of you that are listening with your ears, Mike Sheather just reached over across the counter and went ahead and dipped himself into my Eat Your Feelings snack, which I very lovingly and carefully put together for myself.
And I didn't even notice it until I stole a bite. She hadn't eaten any of it yet.
No, correct. But you know what? I love you and I love to share with you.
You know?
But so we both just kind of looked in the fridge and grabbed the first thing that kind of looked yummy to us.
Yeah, totally.
And for me, that was these really beautiful radishes that Mikey got at I think they're from the farmer's market.
I think they're from Milk Run.
Oh, they're from Milk Run.
Yep.
Fabulous.
I'm wearing my Milk Run hat right now that says Rad Farmers.
Yeah.
Milk Run.
So a rad farmer grew these beautiful radishes, which are so red and just the contrast of red to white is so beautiful. And I don't like to just eat my radishes on my own on their own because when I was in, I think it was 1st or 2nd grade, we had a bring a cool vegetable to school day.
Wow. Country ass motherfuckers.
It was.
I mean, actually, that's whatever. I shouldn't judge. That's really fun and cute.
It's really sweet, isn't it?
Yeah.
And there was, maybe like 15 to 20 kids in my class. And somebody brought in radishes, which I had never had before. And I was just awestruck I loved how red they were, and I just thought they looked so beautiful. And I was even more tittillated once I put one in my mouth.
Ooh. I like where the story's going on.
And then I proceeded to eat, fistfuls. Because no one else was really that interested in the radishes. Sure. And then I proceeded to vomit in the toilet in your elementary school classroom that doesn't lock and everyone can hear.
Oh shit! What do you mean in the classroom?
Yeah, we had a little bathroom in there, like a little toilet.
Bathroom in the classroom?
Yeah.
Ew.
I'm pretty sure. Maybe I'm making that part up.
I don't know. Sounds like you're pretty clear about
it. I do remember vomiting from radishes.
Okay.
Whether it was in classroom or out in the hallway, I can't really discern that right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so now whenever I eat them, I have a little bit. It's almost like, you know how you all know you've had that one day where you drank too much Tanqueray and now you smell gin and you're like,
ooh. Well, so this is why we're a perfect couple. Is that when I was in 6th grade, I think it was, maybe 5th grade, we had done something like raised money or something and like won ourselves or gotten good grades, I'm not sure, but won ourselves a root beer float party.
Oh.
Never had a root beer float.
Oh boy.
I don't know if I'd even had root beer. Maybe I had root beer before that, but not a root beer float. And I had like 8 of them.
Oh boy.
And I don't know if I vomited, but I definitely drank myself sick, like absolutely sick. And I didn't drink root beer again until probably high school, like probably 10 years.
Yeah.
Because it was terrible. So the key to Mikey and Rinne staying is lack of self-control and just hungriness. Just bring me something that I'm going to shove in my mouth until the point at which I feel disgusting and sick.
can't just moderately enjoy this thing.
No.
I have to.
I have to ram this home.
Literally make myself sick.
Right. Yeah. I think that's kind of how we live our life in general.
Tends to
be. I'm not just going to feel a little nervous about this. I'm going to be so sick that I'm going to retch over the toilet bowl, or I'm going to like lose sleep over it.
Definitely.
Or I'm not just going to laugh a little bit at this. I'm going to laugh so loudly that people turn around and look at me
For sure.
In
Always.
The,
Yeah.
nutcracker or whatever it was that you got glared at.
Oh boy, I
Colorado
did not like that.
Oh my god, and you Colorado them. You New York, those Colorado bitches so hard. You were like, what? Sorry for yelling.
So on my radishes, I have them just cut in half, and then I have a little slab of butter next to them, and then a bunch of salt. So I've just dipped in the butter, dip in the salt, and it just takes the butter takes a little bit of that really pepperiness of the radish. I mean, this is like such a classic French thing, right?
Oh yeah. Well, and this is also like the opening dish at Blue Hill at Stone Barns. They give you like, $400 a person, and they give you a radish with butter and salt, and it's like, I get it. You're gonna have much more delicious stuff coming too, but I'm like, all right, I see you, Dan Barber. Calm down with those prices, you're elite as fuck.
It's really super delicious, and Mikey mentioned vitamin C. Radishes are super high in vitamin C.
Yeah.
And we've talked about radishes on the show before when, I think it was when I was talking about kind of transitioning into fall and supporting the lungs. So in Chinese medicine, flavors or foods that are white and then flavors that are sort of spicy really support the lungs.
Oh, that's
so
cool. I didn't know that.
This is good on all levels. Vitamin C to help with your immune system, and then also help support your lungs in the Chinese medicine world.
Yeah, that's awesome. What other things did you have planned for the show?
Well,
Not many? Or did you? Oh, good. Good for you. I didn't plan anything else.
Aaron.
Yeah, you are prepared.
I do have a pro tip this week
Oh, wait, did I have one too?
that I was thinking about.
Oh, maybe not.
Well, you can not listen to mine and think about it, maybe.
Oh, that's true. Okay, go. I'll go with that.
So my pro tip this week is if you are a person that eats grains, which I do, I know that some people have taken grains completely out of their diet. They're following a real more like paleo sort of lifestyle. For me, I actually do well with some grains in my diet. And I think it's just the way that I metabolize things. I'm, as you all know, a really hungry person, and I tend to, if I have just a little bit of starch in my meals, so for example, for breakfast, I might pop in a little sweet potato, or I might have a little bit of oatmeal. If I'm just doing like greens and eggs and a meat, or greens and eggs, I tend to get hungry really quickly, and then I also tend to crave sweets.
Well, that's interesting.
It's really interesting. So if I just pop a little bit of starch into those meals, that really takes the edge off.
Cool.
So
I know, that's smart.
yeah. So anyway, we are a household that does eat some grains. We kind of rotate through a bunch of different ones.
Yeah, we do.
But my suggestion, my little pro tip this week, is to soak your grains.
Pre-digest them a little bit?
Yeah. So it helps to make them more digestible. Specifically, it helps with, so a lot of grains have phytic acid, which is difficult for a lot of people to digest. So soaking them helps to encourage this enzyme phytase, which is then going to break down the phytic acid.
Okay.
So that can be immensely helpful if you're a person that you do like to eat grains, but you find that you get, well, I don't know, a little bloated afterwards or gassy afterwards or something like that. I would totally recommend just giving them a soak. And you can do it.
The grains?
Don't give up the grains.
They're great.
Yeah, for one thing, you get a fuck ton of fiber.
Yeah. Well, it's how I feel about meat is eat less meat. But eat good meat.
Yeah,
spend your money on good stuff. Know where it's coming from. Grains are the same way. It's don't eat shit grains that are processed and whatever. You're just eating a bunch of nasty kind of, what's the word I was looking for? Endosperm? I don't know. But
endosperm is good actually. It's on the outside.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to think anyways, I don't know. I just went to culinary school. No big deal. No, but fuck off. But get good grains. Everywhere that you live, especially grains, there's someone growing good grains around.
Definitely.
You, probably. And So yeah, get nice grains. Don't eat too many of them, but just eat some of them, and soak them. That sounds like a great idea. I like that.
Yeah, so soaking you can do overnight. You can do it for up to 48 hours.
Do they start to sprout?
Well, that's what then happens. Yeah. So if you want to take it even a step further, you can sprout your grains.
Yeah.
And then that can be made into like a flour. If you wanted to do, there's a Ezekiel, that company that does a sprouted whole wheat bread. That's where it comes from. Is a sprouted. I think they use wheat berries and barley and all kinds of stuff. But if you just want to give it a soak, between 6 and 48 hours is kind of the...
Under refrigeration or out?
I don't. I mean, I don't know what you think about that, but I don't refrigerate.
I don't know. I mean, you're probably not going to get all the benefits, most likely. But what I do worry about is if you don't have enough water in it. Like I feel like if it allows for kind of some things to happen potentially.
Especially if you're doing it for, like if you're soaking it, yeah. Yeah,
because I mean that's how you want to sprout things like that. But you do want to I don't know. I'm not trying to be cautious, Kevin or whatever, but but just I don't know. There's a part of me that just feels kind of because if you put it in a warm part of your kitchen, it's in the temperature danger zone. It's kind of some things that could be some sprouting of good and bad things, but probably not in that amount of time. I don't know. Yeah. Look it up on the internet. Yeah, no, don't trust me. Don't trust us on almost anything.
Yeah, I'm just saying what I do, and I typically will do, between 6 to 12 hours and leave it out. And, I've been fine. No botulism yet.
Yeah, not that
not
we
good.
know. Huh? Yeah, not good. Okay, so my pro tip, we're going into Thanksgiving week.
Yes!
And so one of my pro tips for Thanksgiving is turkey. So turkey's the thing that everybody freaks the fuck out about. It's the scariest thing that you cook. It's like if you blow it, then you ruin Thanksgiving, and your racist uncle will never forgive you. So what I think you should do with turkey is assess how many people you have, and then cook. I like the idea of cooking your breasts and your thighs separately. So in my what? Did I? I said it last week? No way. That was my pro tip?
It was chicken, but you did mention what your mom does.
For Thanksgiving. I did mention it. Okay, I've just been talking about it a ton lately, so I couldn't remember if I had talked about it on the show. Because I talked about dried chicken.
Yes.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yep. All right, well, fuck off. So I'm not going to do that for my pro tip. What is my pro tip going to be?
God, you are welcome, folks, this week.
God, it's just professionalism all around. Yeah, why not? Well, okay. Here is a pro tip. Oh, should we do I could talk about some good things for testicular health. Yeah. So one of the things that we've been talking about, I don't know if it's necessarily biomimicry, but the idea of eating. Did we talk about this too? God, this show's just going to be one thing over and over again. You're just going to hear all the same stories.
Folks, not only are we dealing with infertility, but possible early onset
dementia. Cool.
Like Luther.
Okay. Well, one thing I was going to say is just cook your eggs really hot and fast so they get crispy on the edges. I'm eating on microphone.
Wow. If you have just arrived to this podcast, and this is the first episode that you're listening to,
God,
go back through.
We got some better ones.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We have more to offer than just fumbling around.
I can tell a pro tip story.
Great.
Not really a pro tip. My pro tip is eat ramen noodles dry. They're the best thing ever. I'm doing a sandwich project for a grocery store here, and one of my sandwiches is a chicken ramen sandwich, and it's got roasted or grilled chicken on it and spicy mayonnaise, pickled vegetables, and then it's got dry ramen noodles. Oh, so crunchy, so delicious.
That's a good pro tip. Add dry ramen noodles to your sandwich.
Yeah, add them to your salad, all the things. There's a couple companies that are making really nice dry ramen noodles, or nice instant ramen. There's a company called, I think it's Shun, and it's Ramyun, R-A-M-Y-U-N, instead of ramen, R-A-M-E-N. I don't know if it's a different type. It might be from a different country. I'm not 100% straight on what it is, but you can find it at H Mart or Asian grocery stores. And it's a little softer or more fluffy than top ramen or something, but it's so good. So the other day I was buying some from H Mart. I'd ridden my bike over there. And so there's a rapper named Aesop Rock. not ASAP Rocky, but Aesop Rock, who's much more talented than ASAP Rocky.
Wow, shade.
Yeah, you better believe it. Beef dropped. But he lives in Portland, I think, half the time, something like that. He's an underground rapper. I love him. He's one of my favorites. And so I was standing over my bike, eating dry ramen noodle out of the package like a fucking monster. Classy. Yeah. It was in my, for those of you watching, I have a big beard right now. Like, there was ramen noodles in my beard, and I'm standing there going, just wolfing it down. And Aesop Rock comes around the corner. He lives evidently in the building above me. And I'm like, and he looks at me, and I'm like, Aesop Rock, hey dude. And
oh boy.
He's like, hey, how's it going, man? And I was like, dude, I'm a big fan, love your music, I'm eating ramen noodles, whatever. And I was like, do you live in this building? And he like basically just kind of shook my hand and like walked past. He was like, thanks bro, appreciate it. And so pro tip is eat ramen noodles in public, and then you'll see your favorite musician. It's like rubbing a genie's lamp.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I have another little ditty of something that I've been doing recently.
Okay.
So, ladies.
Oops.
And gents with long hair. What you know about dry shampoo?
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah. I know that
Back to the chorus.
A, it's really super expensive, and B, most of the dry shampoos out there are like just ripping holes in our ozone.
The aerosolized ones?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And then there's some natural brands that have come out with dry shampoo, I don't know, within the past 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
And ultimately, this shit is like arrowroot powder. For me, I'm a dark-haired person, so cocoa powder.
Okay.
And maybe some essential oil.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what?
I think I could probably make this.
I think I can do this and not pay $36 for a tiny little jar.
Right. Yeah, totally.
That I'm going to dab on my hair every day.
Yeah.
So, turns out it's super, super easy to make your own dry shampoo. So, DIY your dry shampoo. It's really, I found that the quality feels the same. There's nothing I'm missing. So, basically what I've done is an arrowroot, cocoa powder, and essential oil, like just 5 or so drops. I use lavender. You can kind of use whatever you like.
Just writing this down so I can put it in the notes.
Nice. Yeah, and I'll link to somebody's got a recipe out there.
Right.
We'll link
probably.
to it.
Yeah.
But it's really cool because you can just put it in a glass jar, and then I use a like a blush brush, one of my makeup brushes that I don't use anymore, and then I just dab it, kind of part my hair and dab it at the roots. I've got some on right now, as a matter of fact. It's
And your hair
really
looks wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah, looks dry, but hydrated.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I just think that this is a really important life hack.
Yeah.
Just
well,
because,
especially like most people's bathrooms are fucking small.
right?
And like if you're huffing, aerosol shit and canned stuff, it's terrible. Like Rinney, like sometimes she's got a couple products that she'll use, and I'm like, I have to be like in the other part of the house, and you're using like nice versions of everything.
Totally, yeah.
I can't even imagine people that are using fucking Aquanet.
Right. Wow. They just hop in their time machine.
Call back. All right, just to be clear, it is 5:02 p.m., Corinne.
Oh my gosh, I definitely have to go.
She has to go to dinner.
I do have to go to dinner. I do want to just Mikey last week gave a shout out to Kentucky and to Virginia.
Yeah.
So
and
there's
Mississippi.
And in Mississippi, yeah. So there's times on the show where Mikey does kind of how the South is fucking up women's reproductive rights, and then I tend to take what states are successfully upholding reproductive rights. But I just saw this article. It's actually an article from, a couple weeks ago, a HuffPo article. But I just want to call out Senator Cory Booker.
Okay.
You glorious human, you. he said that if he were elected president, he would create a White House Office of Reproductive Freedom to ensure access to a safe, legal abortion. He has actually been pretty vocal in the reproductive rights corner.
True.
But he says that the office would deal with several issues surrounding reproductive freedom, including abortion, birth control, family planning, infertility, and maternal and infant mortality. He also goes on to say, this is a direct quote from him, "We don't talk about infertility enough and understand that there are things that should be covered by insurance to help with infertility that are not. We don't talk enough about maternal mortality, about infant mortality. So this office will be dealing with reproductive freedom in the largest sense of the understanding." Can I get an amen for this dude? It's really, I just think it's so forward thinking, and especially for a man who's running for president to really be championing this. It's feels even more special.
I agree with that
about it, but it just does.
Well, he's been someone who I like him fine. He's I totally would vote for him if he was our nominee, but we've been kind of a little underwhelmed with him. But that's great. I mean,
I just wanted to shine some light because I don't. This isn't something that gets talked about a ton in debates and stuff like that. So you do have to sort of hunt around for it. But if you want someone in your corner in the reproductive rights world, it sounds like Cory Booker
moved to Newark
is your man.
Yeah, he might be a VP. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, could be.
I don't know. I like him.
Yeah, he's cool.
All right, I gotta go.
Okay. I love you.
I love you.
We love you.
Thank you so much for listening.
For real.
Follow us on all the things. Mikey and Rinne Stay In. Let's eat at mikeyandrinnestayin.com if you want to email us.
Totally. Insta's at Mikey, Twitter's at Mikey and Rinne.
Yep.
So, I'm Mikey.
And I am Rinne.
And tonight she's going to go out and have dinner without me, which is kind of fucked up. But ultimately, tonight, we're gonna stay in.
Love you, Sheath.
Love you. Bye.
And I gotta go. I gotta go right now. Love you.
Love you. Out.